We get a second Carter, Flash Gordon the Bounty Hunter, and the Salem Witch Trials all tonight on Chevron Locked. Hello, and welcome everyone back to Chevron Locked, a Stargate podcast. We are on episode 17 this evening. My name is BC, just one of your hosts. My other host, Kevin.
Hello. How are you
doing, bud?
Doing
I'm
good.
Pretty awesome. What, are we both just going to talk at the exact same time?
We are, yes.
Sweet.
From now
why
on.
even try to sync up the audio, though? You know?
Yeah, right?
We'll just lay down the audio right on top of each other this whole episode. That'd be a hell of a way to experience it. So, episode 17, we are looking at Point of View, Dead Man Switch, and Demons. I guess we'll talk about that. It's weird. I'll say, I think we had like three, like really kind of two really good action-packed episodes. Like, It's weird that, like, we got two heavy action-centric episodes. I'll say that way.
Yeah.
And again, I'm 2 out of 3 on these.
You know what? I kind of liked all of them, although I had the least to say about Dead Man Switch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think this is going to be good. I think we can yell at each other this episode.
Possibly. I think that Dead Man Switch is just basically one conversation, though. I'm thinking. I don't know. I'd forgotten all about that, by the way. Yeah, so what's been going on? Anything fun? Anything new?
I went and saw Fast and the Furious 8, Fate of the Furious today. It was a decent movie. Pretty good.
Yeah, some driving on ice, I see.
Yeah. I got a little excited because they flashed a picture of one of the bad guys from Fat Furious 7, and I forgot that it was the guy who plays Horace in the Stargate movie.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm
Good
not going to
catch
try
on
to
that.
pronounce his name, or at least I'm not going to try to
Yeah.
pronounce it right. But yeah, he's the guy that also accosted Star-Lord at the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy. Jimon Honsu. Yeah, awesome guy. And I got all excited. My wife was like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, shh.
Just soak it in.
Yeah.
Just let it happen. Those are, to me at least, they're guilty pleasure movies. Like, they're fun movies. They're fun summer movies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know?
I mean, they're not good movies, but they're really good movies, you know?
Exactly.
They don't have to make sense. They're action. They're blowing up. They're driving cars. They're girls' butts. That's all you need.
No, that's it, man. You know, I will say this. It still surprises me that new ones come out. Like, I know they're making money. Clearly, they're making fucking money off of these things, or else they wouldn't.
I heard this one set a record this weekend.
Oh, jeez Louise. Well, and but look at the cast nowadays. Like, you still have the same quote unquote core members that have been there,
Sure.
know. But then, you've been adding the Rock in there. You're adding Jason Statham in there.
You can't go wrong with either of those.
You can't. And then the last one, I'm a huge Tony Jaa fan. I don't know if you've watched any of his movies before. He's a martial artist and does these just stupendous fight scenes and action sequences in his movies and whatnot. But they brought him in for number 7. And I was like, oh my God, Tony Jaa's in this fucking movie. And then I went to go watch it. Tony Jaa's technically in the movie, but he's only in the movie for about maybe 4 minutes of screen time. But
that's pretty funny.
Yeah. And then you get guys like Kurt Russell in there. I'm like, who would have thought? Like, when you watched like the first or the third Fast and Furious movies, would you have ever thought Kurt Russell was going to show up in one of those?
Not for a second. No, but it's sort of become like the Expendables. Like, this is the new Expendables, where you're getting together these powerhouse action stars. And yes, Jason Statham was in that as well. But you're putting them all together because The Rock is amazing. Jason Statham, I honestly, Tim, the guy I work with, told me before I saw this that this was absolutely the best performance by Jason Statham in anything ever. I have to agree after having seen it. There was a whole sequence that would just blew me away. This is the best thing I've ever seen.
Really?
Yes.
That's high praise because I love the Transporter.
Oh, yeah, no. Me too. Love Believe me, I don't think there's a bad movie Jason Statham has done. I think there's a bunch, let me rephrase that. There's a bunch of bad movies Jason Statham has done, but I think he has been amazing in all of them. And, yeah, like Crank 2.
Oh, I loved Crank, dude.
I
did. Oh, that was such a
stupid movie, but such a great premise, and he does it so well. And I do think that this movie has a sequence that makes it his best performance ever.
Okay, well, you just sold me. I'll try to check it out here when I can. Yeah, no, completely sold me. Only other thing I wanted to mention, only because I know you're as hyped about the Aquaman movie as I am.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I am fucking hyped, make no mistake. Did you see that they signed Dolph Lundgren onto it?
No.
Yes.
Oh, come on.
Dolph Lundgren is going to be in the Aquaman movie. I can't make that up. Like, I can't.
Oh, yay. Now I can't wait.
God. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. It's going to be spectacular.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. We're just going to leave it at that.
Huh. Really? Like, I throw Dolph Lundgren in an Aquaman movie and you're just not immediately pumped.
Nope.
I don't know how we work together, sir.
Opposites attract.
Yeah, you're damn right. So, well, let's jump into some Stargate, shall we? Let's look at what point of view?
Point of view.
Yeah, let's look at point of view. I think that's a good one to start with.
Yeah, that was a good episode. That was the one where Major Kowalski and a female version of Sam show up from another reality where the Goa'uld have handily defeated everyone on Earth. Daniel takes one look at them and decides we can lend a hand somehow. And we go there to place a long-distance call to the Asgard, who show up and help for no reason.
Yep. Okay. So what'd you think, though?
Honestly, I think this was a really great episode.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, I love that this explores more of that technology. This takes a look at what we already know and expands on it, because that mirror that they found doesn't just go to one place like the Stargate. It opens up literally limitless possibilities for things we could do. I think it asks some really interesting questions like, who is the real reality? Which, Teal candidly just goes, we're the only ones that matter, and shoots everyone in his way. Which I thought that was great. I loved that. That's such a line from Teal. But yeah, great episode.
I think the biggest standaway I kind of took from this episode was, and I agree with you, it was really cool to get back to that quantum mirror, to do another show around it, because it really is such a really unique piece of technology. And for a show that's all about, traveling through a gate, like to bring in another piece of technology that's kind of the same type of traveling, it just overshadows the Stargate, and I like that they use it so sporadically, or they talk about it so sporadically. But the biggest takeaway I got is I think that this was the first time, at least, I saw the Goa'uld truly run from the Asgard. Yeah. Like, when they found out the Asgard was there, it was like, okay, pack it up, we're gone,
Yeah, because I think in this place, it was that the Asgard were not only there, but the Asgard were pissed. Yeah. Every time we've seen them interact before, because we did see that when they had, was it Thor's hammer, when Thor showed up and just started wrecking house.
That's true.
They were a little afraid there, and they weren't when they came to Earth, but I think that was because it was more of an equal footing negotiation, they were invited type of thing.
Yeah. But no, just to see them fucking bail out, as soon as that Asgard ship jumps on radar, it was cool. Like, I think it really kind of showed where the Asgard stand in terms of the Goa'uld,
Oh yeah. I mean, they are so powerful. It's just that they're busy,
Yeah. No, they got other things to do, They got to get the laundry done. They don't have time for everything.
Oh, interelectric laundry is the worst.
I can only imagine. I don't know. And then of course the bigger story arc, I guess, would be the fact that we get the whole Carter and Jack relationship in a prior or in a different universe, something that I think as a viewer, you're kind of always wondering, when are these two going to hook up?
Yeah. And apparently it's in every universe but the one they're actually in.
But exactly. So I thought that was, because I think that's the first time it's been touched upon, and I don't know, it was, I'm just glad that it was talked about, I guess, because it was that elephant in the room type of scenario where, again, like I said, the viewer, you're like, okay, like we know something's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, they touched on it in the one where the Broca Divide, where everybody became cavemen, and Jack started attacking her, somewhat, or growling at her and sniffing at her. They touched on it when Daniel went to the other reality, and in that reality, Sam and Jack were either engaged or just recently married in that reality.
I think it was just recently, but yeah.
And then in this, obviously, they were together, and then he died.
Yep.
Awkward kiss at the end when she's like kissing him, and then she's like, "You're not him, are you?" Did you get confused? Did you think he was?
Did you
thought
forget
you
what
were
happened?
Smart.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I liked the episode. I truly did. Don't get me wrong. It was very good visual effects. That quantum mirror is always just a really cool visual effect. And I agree with what you said about the endless possibilities when we're watching Daniel first learning how to use it from Kowalski of all people. Like it was such a funny thing to see Kowalski teaching Daniel how to use that.
Yeah, I contend that Kowalski didn't actually teach him. He handed him the remote control and just said, just do that thing.
Spin it this way.
Do a different
clockwise.
thing, because that thing that you didn't work. Do a different thing.
No, I agree. But it was cool. It was cool to see all those different possibilities out there. And even, he thinks he finally tunes into to their reality, and he notices that Carter's shirt says Captain Carter.
Yep.
Instead of Major, which that brings up a whole other storyline. I'm like, well, there's another parallel universe where they're waiting for Daniel to come back too.
Yeah, exactly.
So really cool tech. Really has the possibilities of creating some pretty cool episodes, I would hope, down the road.
Yeah, and we got a visual of the storeroom at Area 52 where this was all being kept.
Yeah.
52, 51, Area 51.
51.
Sorry, Area 52 is from World of Warcraft.
I wouldn't have known that.
But Area 51 where this is all kept, and we have one of the chairs from Gamekeeper and a bunch of other stuff in that room. But for some reason, we've never kept a sarcophagus. This is my biggest bone of contention with this show. Okay,
have we legitimately had the chance to take one? And I'm asking because I can't remember. Has there been a time that they could have sent like SG-10 back to go retrieve one?
Just off the top of my head, didn't we get one when we met Hathor? That one was on Earth.
That one was on Earth. Well played, sir. How did I fucking miss that one?
And yet every episode they're like, "Oh, we don't have that technology."
I don't know why they got a high-pitched voice at the end like that.
It happens. It was, You know what? Daniel's weird. That's how he sounds.
Daniel is weird. And side note, we have not gotten a Daniel death in quite some time.
I know. I was looking back through my notes, feeling disappointed and feeling like I'm not going to remember how many we're up to next time he dies.
I think I actually still have it written down. We're good to go. Yeah.
I think we're good.
We're due for one.
Yeah. I can't.
That's
wait.
For sure.
Kill him.
In that Area 51, I liked that it was guarded by 2 lasers.
Yep, 2 lasers and apparently 40 guards that were standing at the ready outside that room.
Just chill. We're going to put 2 lasers that run parallel to each other.
Yeah, yep.
In a room, and then we'll just put 40 guys outside the door. We're good.
That came from every direction. It's not like there was one door. They tripped
no.
that laser, and there were like literally 10 armed guards within 10 seconds.
Yeah, I really think there were like 3 doors with 10 people on each door. And they're like, "Oh shit, one of those lasers just went off." And they're like, "Which one?" They're like, "One of the 2 that are in there. We're good."
Can you imagine being one of those guards on guard duty? There's 9 other people within 50 feet of you guarding one fucking room. Yeah. And then you're like, what bullshit assignment this is? who did I piss off? And then the laser goes off in the middle where no one else could be. And you're like, shit, what did they know that I didn't know?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, that one did bother me just a little bit. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. I think that was all I had. Did you have any more?
I got a couple of other things.
Let's hear it, man, because I didn't take a whole lot of notes for this episode.
You know, I when they go through the mirror and Jack makes Daniel turn it off so that the gold, the Jaffa won't see that it's on.
Yes.
I had a moment where I was like, you definitely had to explain to Jack before coming here that if you turn it off, you're never going to get home. And then they mentioned it. And I thought that was all right, but it's still like, bring a sheet, throw a sheet over it.
Yeah.
You don't have to turn it around. Do anything else.
Yeah.
You know, and then we got the trope where they were like checking for the goatee. And then we go through the mirror and who has a goatee but Apophis, and Teal'c has that little hipster chin strip thing.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like they acknowledged the trope and then went with it anyway. And I still can't decide if Teal'c killing the other Teal'c was murder or suicide.
Oh, dude, it was badass. That's what it was.
That is exactly it.
That was fucking intense. Like, I didn't think he was gonna. Well, okay, when I saw the staff, I was like, oh, he may shoot him, you know.
Yeah,
but just right in the chest. And then, to say that he's like, this reality doesn't matter. It's fine. We can do whatever I want.
That was great, though.
Like, I was just ready for him to like take his pants off and just start running down the hall, butt ass naked, you know.
Just start teabagging people.
Yeah, like we could. It's fine, guys. This reality doesn't count.
Yeah, and then you had Sam talking about how the Asgard provided us a generator so that we could dial their home. And it's like, no,
not at all.
Jack did that when he got sucked into that ancient wall vagina repository. And also that you don't still have the dialing software because after it dialed, the computer wiped itself. You said it in that episode.
Yep.
And then when they showed it dialing the Asgard, it only dialed 7 symbols. Asgard was 8.
Yeah. Okay, so I totally forgot that the computer wiped itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you had me up until then, and then I had totally forgotten that the computer did wipe itself after they did dial that.
Yeah, because they didn't have control, and Sam was trying to get in, and ticka, and then Jack goes through the gate. All of a sudden, everything's shut down, rebooted, and she had control again. And she was like, it's back to normal. You know, that's...
Yeah.
I can't help you if you're not going to read your own scripts.
If you can't proofread this shit.
This was another episode where they make mention of the fact that Apophis is dead. And again, you can't actually think he's dead.
Yeah.
You sent him through and were immediately scolded for thinking one-dimensionally because they have a sarcophagus. Apophis isn't dead. This isn't foreshadowing, folks. They are literally telling you Apophis isn't dead.
Yeah, it's spelling out for you. Like right in front of them.
Yep. But other than that, really good episode.
They're just setting up for some good shit down the road, dude.
I know.
You know? Listen, not all their viewers are of your caliber, sir.
Listen, I just have nothing else going on, all right?
Please. No, I agree, though. Really fun episode. We talk about this. Me and you talk about this. Just the fact that I don't want to say rehash. They bring back technology into an episode that we've seen before. And I just wish we could get a little bit more of that. And who knows? I truly can't remember if the quantum mirror comes back into play. I really hope it does. But I would like to. I like that whole idea. I like the I was going to say dual reality, the different realities.
Yeah.
You know,
sort of.
No, go ahead.
No, it's so like expansive. There's so many possibilities you could do with it that you just can't. I mean, I don't know if you ever watched the show Sliders with Jerry O'Connell.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then later his brother, and then later no one that had anything to do with them when the show got really crappy. Yeah, I mean, that was a great show, and they did the same types of things in that entire show that we've done in 2 episodes of this.
Yeah.
And it just leaves so much room for possibility. that it does take another show to be able to get into it, you know? And I'm glad we kind of get away from that and focus more on the Stargate rather than the Dimension Mirror.
I agree. I just want it peppered in every now and then.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great little twist.
Yeah,
you know, and I love that this show does that with the twists. And I, you know, having watched this a couple of times, I know there's a couple coming that I just can't wait to comment on.
Ah, see, I can't remember, so way to ruin the surprise for me. Thank you.
Glad I could be there for you.
You're always okay. So let's move on to Dead Man Switch. Sorry,
Dead Man Switch. Absolutely.
Dead Man's fucking Switch. All right, go for it.
This was the episode where the gang goes looking for another remote control airplane that Sam lost, only to be caught by a mean old bounty hunter. He offers to let them go for helping to catch a Goa'uld. We find out it's a Tok'ra, and then the bounty hunter's heart grows 3 sizes that day, and he lets everyone go and live happily ever after.
Yeah. And then they left him on that planet, too.
Yeah.
Like,
with
they
no
just
ship.
left him there.
Just peace.
Yeah, like, I understand. I understand that he started off as a dick, you know? Yep. But he, like you said, he had a change of heart. You know, he lets SG-1 go, decides he just wants, he needs to get his fucking heroin, right?
Yep, his space heroin.
His space heroin. He needs to get his spice.
Yes. The spice must flow.
Yeah. So, you know, Teal'c's like, well, you can take me instead. He has this huge change of heart. He's like, no, fuck this. We're going to blow this shit up. We're going to fly down the ground. We're going to meet up with your friends, you know. And then they're like, okay, thanks for turning out to be not so bad. We'll see you later. You know, enjoy the forest moon of Endor that you're currently fucking stuck on now.
Right. Looks suspiciously like Vancouver.
It does. It does. Yeah, it's true. You could probably just walk to the city. Yeah. I was rambling there. I can't remember now. Oh yeah, I guess I was just mad that they left him on the planet at the end of that episode.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, this was the episode I had the fewest notes on. Not that I thought it was a bad episode. Just, I don't know. I felt like there was a lot to unpack and it didn't really do a lot of that.
Correct. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
well, I think that, Eris, I don't know, was it Botch or Bach? Is that Eris Bach? Is that how you pronounce his name? Bach?
Yeah, Eris Bach.
Yeah. So I think that, so the initial thing was that he told Carter, I think it was Carter, that his son was being held by, side note, did the way he say the word Goa'uld bother you?
Every time?
Dude, it was like nails on a chalkboard. And I'm like, somebody should have just said cut and pulled him aside, done a few runs on it, and then started back up, you know?
It's like, listen, I know you're Flash Gordon, but we really needed to get this word right, okay?
Yeah. We understand that you saved the universe once in 1983 or whatever that was, but shit's changed, you know?
The word is Goa'uld.
Yeah.
All right, go. Flash!
Yeah. And somehow he added like fucking 9 syllables into that fucking word.
Yep.
Oh, God, it was really bothering. Same way episodes and episodes ago. In season 1, the whole better.
Yes.
You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
Where he's
exactly
like, everything is better. And I'm like,
better.
Fuck, say better one more time, you son of a bitch. Fucking say it. So anyway, I thought that the whole idea, you know, he told Carter that his son was being held by the Goa'uld, and then you just find out that no, that's not the case. Like, there was just all this, like, some of the dialogue, some of the fat of the dialogue could have been cut, I think, pretty easily. You could have trimmed a lot of that dialogue out and maybe gotten into more tech, because there was actually quite a bit of technology there that I would have liked to know more about.
And that's exactly it. Like, there was so much new stuff introduced into this. You've got a race of beings that look like human but aren't, who for some reason are immune to the Goa'uld.
Yeah.
That's great. You've got a Goa'uld cargo ship that is completely invisible and undetectable. That's amazing. He had an endless supply of Zatnikatals for some reason. He just kept pulling them off his back somehow.
Yeah.
And he's immune to them, which, I'm assuming is because of his suit as well. Or maybe it was something to do with his blood. I don't know, but like these are questions or things I'd rather have more information about than some bullshit that his son's being held that is or isn't true, and like he's going back on his word, and I actually have in my notes, and I'm not sure what I was referring to except for the whole episode, but it says, is Flash a moron? With a question mark, and then it says yes, period, and no, period, and yes, because he is. This guy was a moron for the entirety of the episode. Everything he did made no sense at all and didn't further his goals. Like, for example, when he's got the Tok'ra on his ship, he thinks it's a Goa'uld, and he all of a sudden zats him and reaches out, grabs his tooth, and pulls out the space cyanide that he had in his mouth.
Yeah.
And he just sounds surprised that this Tok'ra was going to kill himself.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you're the one that shot him. Like,
yeah.
Why are you surprised? If you thought he was going to kill himself, you shot him and you stopped him, so you thought he was going to kill himself. If you didn't think that, you wouldn't have shot him.
Yeah. I've never gone into somebody's mouth not knowing what the fuck I was doing.
No, seriously. Oh, I found a tongue.
Yeah. Like that, and that part did bother me. I'm like, he shoots him and no time passes, right? He shoots him, he fucking drops to the ground, and he immediately bends over and gets his fingers fucking balls deep in his mouth, you know?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
And then he was like, ugh, fucking cyanide, which, come on, cyanide? Like,
yeah.
I don't, that was another issue. I was like, really, cyanide? Like, you know what cyanide is. Like,
what are you, a Cold War Russian spy all of a sudden?
Yeah, you know, but that's whatever. Those are those small little bitches I have throughout the episode. But yeah, I agree that some of that dialogue could have been cut out because of the amount of tech that we got in that show that I would have rather spend, or even the fact that we started to get more, we didn't really get more information about Sokar, but he starts getting brought up again. So I'm like, well, exactly. Here's possibly a good episode to spend a little bit more time talking about Sokar. I don't need a Sokar episode right now, but maybe just highlight a little bit more. Give the Tok'ra more dialogue and take some dialogue away from fucking Captain Caveman, Eris Botch, you know?
Because this was also the first time we've seen anyone other than the Goa'uld working for the Goa'uld in any way.
Yeah.
You know, and he's a mercenary, he's for hire. It's interesting, you know, it's a darker, seedy background to this, you know, otherwise black and white space world that we've stumbled into, where it's either you're good and you believe that they're gods, or you're bad and you believe you are gods.
Yes. Again, I think we're both going to agree that at the end of the day, you planted too much seeds and you didn't let any of it fucking grow. You know what I'm saying? You just scattered around all these ideas and said, oh, let's just throw this shit into this episode and go to town. Like even the force field at the start of that show where he's got the force field around the Stargate, one, I thought was incredibly clever. I'm like, oh, that's a, like for a bounty hunter, I'm like, oh, that's a fucking great idea. You know, like throw down this force field. So as soon as somebody comes out of the Stargate, bam, you already have them. Yep. Like I thought that was fucking brilliant. And then they're just like, yep, that's a thing. That guy can do that, you know?
Yeah. And that scene when Jack pulled his knife and threw it at him, thinking it was the force field like we've seen before, where a knife would go through it. Great, you know, and it's a different color. You're showing us that there are different things out there that we haven't seen. I'm on board. And it was around the UAV, not around the Stargate, just so you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. You're right. Sorry.
Mail.
Fucking.
I mean,
dick.
I want to get hate mail, but I just, you know.
Yeah, no, you just want. It's fine, dude. Whatever. No, I agree, man. Really, this whole episode, what it comes down to for me, and again, I loved the visuals. I loved the action that we got. I do love the small bits of story that we got, and I love the tech. But at the end of the day, it's almost like they were like, hey, remember that dude that was Flash Gordon? He wants to do a television show. And then they basically said, well, we kind of have this idea for an episode, and then they just worked around them, you know?
Yeah, and that's always the ideas that work the least well, is when you start from somewhere and then try to build towards that, because you never get there in a natural way. And
no.
You're right, I can see some of that in this.
Yeah, I don't know. And again, this was years before he did Ted. You know, before he had his big resurgence of popularity there for a minute. And, Other than that, those are the only two references I have for him. I looked at his Internet Movie Database, and it's filled.
Oh yeah,
but
he's been in everything, but I don't know that I've seen any of them.
No, as far as I know, Sam Jones is just from that. Like, I just know him from fucking Flash, and really, I only know Flash because it was a great Queen song. But
right.
yeah, no, sorry, he was in an episode of Walker, Texas Ranger. Of course you were, buddy. Of course you were. Oh, he was in a few episodes, sorry. But yeah, no, that's just kind of how the episode came off. There's like, oh, this is Sam Jones, man. Like, we should get him on the show. He used to be Flash Gordon, and then, I don't know. The visor on his head. I was like, what is that visor? Like, tell me more about this.
Even that, it's like binoculars for your face, and he kind of looked like Star-Lord.
Yeah. Oh, he kind of did, do.
Fat Star-Lord.
Yeah, fucking out of work Star-Lord. But even like when Carter figures out that he's tracking them through the usage of the tech, I was like, that's brilliant. Like, spend some time with that, like, I'm cool with that, but
yeah. But no, we'll never see it again.
I would have been okay with him like being a silent character, because he's still a very large man, But,
intimidating.
Yeah.
Sure.
You didn't have to give him any dialogue. It's fine.
Huh.
Yeah. Is that just me? I like my fucking I like my Flash Gordon's not talking. Did you know they did a Flash Gordon TV series in 2007?
No, I didn't know that.
Yep, they did.
I will not have to watch that.
I will definitely not watch this shit. Are you serious? And I think they only did one episode, actually.
Oh, that's always the mark of a high quality.
21 episodes. They did 21 episodes, 2007 to 2008. Yeah, no. Why fucking reboot that, man? Come on. Anyway, sorry. Way off topic. Holy shit. So yeah, it was okay. That's all. You want to go to Demons?
Sure.
Demons is a Peter DeLuise joint.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Demons is the one where the gang finds a group of people that were taken from England through the Antarctic Gate for some reason.
Because why not?
Yeah, we'll go with that. They're super religious and afraid of an Unas that they think is a demon. We kick his ass and then kill the town's religious leader, then leave. I'm sure things are fine there now.
Oh, I'm sure they fucking recovered just fine, dude.
Oh,
no doubt in my head. Like, they were just, oh yeah, just like a Tuesday for them.
Yep. I'm sure it went over very well that there were no other witnesses except for the one guy that's always getting in trouble.
Yeah. That's true, man. There was really no other witness to that murder, and let's just call it what it is, sir.
Oh, yeah, no, they ganked
That was a fucking murder.
They just unloaded.
They killed it. Did they let Teal pull the trigger on that one? Because apparently it's just, he's in a bit of a murderous rampage lately, these episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, what'd you think, bud? What was your... Go ahead.
It was a good episode. I do like that we're getting different groups of people, so it's not, oh look, they're Egyptian again. And we've had people of Chinese descent and other people before. I wish they had a better explanation for, or maybe even a better grasp for when these people were taken and why, if the Antarctic Gate was still viable at some point 1,000 years ago, or actually much less, but I'm not going to touch on that yet. Why the gold wouldn't have taken that gate somewhere more accessible so that it wouldn't then be cut off by the shifting ice.
Yes.
It doesn't hold up.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm calling BS on it.
Don't worry. You don't have to apologize to me, sir.
But this was another episode where we get the UAV, and again, this is that building on technology. We have something that we know works. So, we get a picture of a castle. Great. Let's go.
But I didn't know if you were going to be happy about this. We finally get a village that said, hey, let's not build right next to this fucking thing in the ground.
Right? I'm on board with that.
I thought that was fantastic.
I also thought it was kind of cool that we get a little CGI lizard thing at the start of the episode. So we get some sort of incidental alien creature that has nothing to do with the plot of the thing, but shows some diversity.
Correct.
I thought that was great.
I'll give you that one. I won't
and
yeah,
it foreshadows the Unas a little bit.
Maybe it did. Maybe it did, sir. But, okay, so I guess this is a good and a bad thing for me, really. I don't like how now everything is SoCar related.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yep.
I'm glad that you're introducing new bad guys, new gold. I'm totally okay with that, but you can mix it up a little bit. Not everything has to be, like, I understand that SoCar's supposedly the badass of the badasses, you know? But not everything, and not everything has to revolve around just that one guy this season, you know?
Right. But it's going to, because 90s.
Yeah, I know. Again, and it's a small bitch, but it was just one of those things. Like, we just came off of a SoCar episode, you know? Or,
oh yeah,
indirectly SoCar episode, but.
And this is another indirect SoCar episode.
Yes. Yep. But basically, at the end of the day, you got the Salem witch trials. I mean, that's basically what this episode was.
Yeah, that's exactly what this was. You know, they find that that little block of religious text, and Daniel says that it's what is it, early Middle English, pre-Chaucer. Just so everyone knows, my wife has her PhD in medieval literature, and I made the mistake of asking her what that meant, and proceeded to get an 1.5-hour lecture on all of that and how wrong Daniel is.
Yeah. Yeah, that photo you sent me, and then you posted it up in Reddit, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. That's it. I laughed my ass off, dude.
You should have seen her. She just started pulling books off the shelf. She's like, here, hold this, hold this, hold this. And she starts opening. She goes, look, this is what it would look like. It would have more runes and more thorns on it. It would be this. If it was 1,000 years ago, this is what it would look like. If it was this and that. And so literally everything Daniel said this episode could have just been scrapped, and the episode would have been the exact same. He was that wrong.
They should have hired your wife for, just rewrites.
Yeah, and I mean, you know what? I feel bad for the prop guy that was given the last-minute job of researching and making this prop to look like something Old English, and he wasn't given proper direction, wasn't given enough time, or just didn't think to look it up right. But, you know, really, who's going to look at this show in 1998 or 1999, whenever this was, and tear it apart the way we are doing it now, you know?
No. Not, and I agree. Nobody was doing that. It was just awesome that we can have this podcast about Stargate, and you just happen to be married to a lady that can call bullshit on that particular thing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
she was out in the other room grading papers, and I was like, honey, I just have a quick question.
Can you come in here?
That was a mistake. That was a total mistake.
Oh, God.
Love her to death.
Oh, that was
I love
so
you, honey, if you're
good.
listening.
I'm sure she is. Why wouldn't she listen to us?
Oh, she does.
I'm sure she does. She should. We're quite entertaining to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So what else was going on in that episode? Sorry, we kind of sidetracked there. But yeah, Salem witch trials. That's what we were getting at. And
so they think Teal'c's a witch, right?
Yeah.
So they test him by, what was the first one? Oh, they put the hot brand on his forehead.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just assume that's a real test, and you're testing for witches. All right. So you've stuffed a hot brand on this guy's head, and he just kind of looked at you. Leaving aside the fact that I don't care what process put that on his head, that would still hurt. From their point of view, he failed. He's a witch.
Yeah.
Great. You're done now. You don't have to move on to the second test, where you bring his friends for some reason and throw him in the water while tying him down. And in that test, if he dies, he failed. So you've got 2 tests, one of which will kill him. Actually, both of which should have.
Yeah.
But when the second one does, you're like, oh, I guess he wasn't a witch.
My bad.
Sorry.
Teal'c's a badass. Let's just say this.
He really is.
Teal'c took that white hot poker right to the forehead like a champ.
I don't know. If I was Sam, I would have been whispering to him, pretend it hurts.
Yeah, just, can you, ow. Ow.
Seriously.
Please stop.
Do not do that.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And wait, did he get pulled? Did they select him because of the fucking gold thing again? His emblem?
I think so. Yeah, I'm
didn't
pretty sure
we talk
was.
about the idea that they should make him cover that shit up on every fucking outing?
Just get a hat. Put a bandage on it. Yeah, as a girl I work with, we're not allowed to have tattoos. She's got to put a bandage on her arm every time she works. Do that. Get a beret.
Yeah, just,
you know?
Like, you're just going to cause so many problems down the road, you know?
Yep.
Fucking Tilk. And I love that guy. God, I love Tilk. Yeah. And so he drowns, basically, right? And, but he doesn't drown because, guess what? He has a fucking kick-ass symbiote that said, "Not today, Jesus," and fucking brings him back to life.
Junior and the Kelno Reem saved his ass.
You're damn right it did. Then they do battle with the Unis, and you know, they killed the town's leader.
Yeah. You know, I love how their the Unis comes complete with a nail remover, like a crowbar, so that he can take them off the post and take them with him.
Yeah, that was a little bullshit, but
like, what kind of arrangement do you work out with this guy that you're like, we're just going to nail them down every time? If you could bring tools so that you can make sure you can take them with you, we're not going to make it easy on you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he wants them secured, you know, like the town folk don't want them running off necessarily.
Sure, but if I was the Unis, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, there's got to be a better way we can do this. I don't want to work for my food. You know, and then when he's walking them away, and you got 5 people chained together, and I can't even walk upstairs without twisting my ankle. I can't even walk by my kitchen table without catching my watch or my shirt on something. But 5 people can roll down a hill. Their clothes are fine. They don't twist an ankle. They don't break an arm. They got nothing. Yeah.
No.
I mean,
and what was it?
How do you do that?
What was it that Daniel said to her? Daniel said something about just roll with us, or I was like, really, Daniel? Like, I don't know. Whatever he said, the wording I remember bothered the shit out of me. But yeah.
Pray tell, good sir, what do you mean?
Yeah. What is this rolling, and when do I do it?
Yeah.
And then they just toss that girl down the hill, and the Unis just standing there like, shit.
Yeah,
like, didn't see that coming. Yeah.
Come on, guys. I had to bring a crowbar and you do this to me?
I've got to stop walking people this direction, you know? Like, it just happens all the time to them.
There has to be a path to the Stargate that doesn't involve a convenient escape hill.
Yeah, he just walks back to the village and be like, seriously, guys, can we put a fucking fence up? Oh,
you
God.
had to build far away from the Stargate.
Yeah.
You assholes.
See, they knew. I was just, going back to that, I was so happy to finally see like a pre-industrial village that built that far away from it, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah. For no reason.
Well,
because it's not like they were near, you know, a better source of water or a better source of food or anything. They were on a fucking hill. There was no reason to build there.
Because in my head though, it's saying, we don't know what this is, get the fuck away from it. You know, like, it just seems more logical that a society would fucking not necessarily, I don't know. It depends. If they saw it as a religious artifact, then maybe they would build the town closer. But we see that all the time. And we see that it just doesn't work out too well. You know, so
it didn't work out too well in this either. The Unas still came through, still came and took whoever he wanted, whenever he wanted.
Oh, it worked out, sir. Finally. Finally, it worked out. But you know what? I'm going to give as much as I just called Tilk fucking amazing for taking that white hot poker to the fucking forehead. That Unis took like 3 staff blasts.
Yeah, he did.
So
and prior to that, he took like 6 paintballs to the chest.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. Oh, God. That was like the cheapest special effect, too. They're like, anybody got a Tippmann paintball gun? And they just fucking blasted him a few times.
Yeah, we don't even need special paint. We'll just use the field paint.
Yeah,
That's
what
fine.
color do you
That's
got?
fine.
Green? Okay, yeah, bring it on over
Perfect.
here, Chuck. You know?
Una's blood is green now. Can we make a note of that? Is that everybody good?
Oh, God. Put it in the script, boys. That's a wrap. But no, I like the episode. I love the Unas. Anytime we get more of that, I'm on board. Yeah.
I thought there was only one of them. Unas.
Uno?
No?
They're not Spanish? Could have fooled me.
Yeah.
The simple jokes are the best jokes.
Oh God.
I know. But yeah, those were all the notes I had for Demons.
That's all I got.
I watched it twice in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. That's because you fell asleep, but that's okay. We're not going to bring that up.
We're not going to bring it up. But I felt like, I'm like, I should probably watch it because I was coming out of sleep when it started. So maybe I'll take that out. So, next week we are looking at, Rules of Engagement, Forever and a Day, and Past and Present. We get, another Peter DeLuise episode, written by Jonathan Glassner. Like, man. Wait. Yeah, Point of View and Demons were both Peter DeLuise. Oh, I'm sorry. Can we back up a little bit?
Yeah, of course.
Point of View, and I'm so glad that they did this, and I'm so glad that they don't do it a lot, because I think it would ruin it, but Point of View at the very end of the episode where the Asgard come, and they kick on the Stargate, and Apophis fucking beams up, and the rest of the guys take the hard foot, out through the Stargate. They did that camera panning on top of the Stargate.
Yeah.
And I really did appreciate that, because I think that it does get a little boring when you're just looking at the Stargate dead on and watching people go through it, that I like the fact that they mix the camera's angles up every now and then.
Yeah, it's interesting. You're absolutely right. It does get boring.
It really does. Like, it is. And then you saw like the staff weapon get cut off, like right as the gate was closing, and the way they timed that,
was
I'm like,
awesome.
I'm like, ooh, that dude's not going to make it. and then unfortunately he made it, and it was just the staff weapon that got it, but it was still really, really cool. So, another thing we've been missing out on, not a whole lot of shit is hitting the iris lately. So we need to, SG1 needs to step up on people hitting the iris.
Get your shit together, SG1.
Yeah.
Come on.
Can you kill Daniel off here soon? And
Seriously.
then, again, sorry, I don't want to make it sound like it was the first time it's going to fucking happen. And then we need more fucking iris hits, for God's sake. So, yeah. Any final thoughts tonight, Kevin?
Nothing. I got nothing else.
I think I'm tapped out for those 3 episodes hardcore. So, like I said, episode 18 coming next week with Rules of Engagement, Forever and a Day, Past and Present. We thank you as always. Find all of our information in the show notes, and you guys have a great night.
Good night, everyone.